and today we'll be watching Game Theory's Dandy's World Lied to You.
Dandy's World lied to me. What appeared to me
just
to
starting
be an
off right out
apologetic Toon
the
trying
gates.
to make amends for the mess he'd made was really a cover-up for the deep pain and suffering that he and his former creators were causing behind the scenes.
Dang, Dandy was in on it? Dun dun dun! Wait, is this intro copyrighted?
Hello, Internet!
Welcome
to Game Theory, the
Theory.
show that's about to burst with black goo if you don't subscribe.
The Icor or Ichor.
Okay, that was weird. I'm telling you, black goo can do some weird things to you.
Yeah,
We've seen
they're
it
everywhere.
across many indie horror franchises, but it's never been more true than it has for the Roblox game Dandy's World.
Dun,
It's a
dun,
survival
dun.
game about an abandoned
Every time.
museum and TV
Dramatic
studio
flair.
called the Gardenview Center. Created by two young visionaries, Arthur and Delilah, in 1984, they were able to create living, breathing cartoon characters through the power of a mysterious
I like
black
the
goo
recap,
called
you know?
Icor. Unfortunately, this very substance is also
Not gonna lie, sometimes I forget the Dandy's World lore, so like watching these game theories really helped me a lot. And also you guys' comments, just like the Dandy's World music video we reacted to the other day. You guys gave some really good comments helping me out there. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about this theory and if it's true.
what causes the Toons to turn into their evil counterparts, called the Twisteds.
Duh.
Larger, more deadly versions oozing with the black substance.
All
the
over
first
the
instance
place.
occurred in 2002, labeled as the malfunction incident. And
There's an
since then,
incident?
the facility has been shut down, leaving Dandy and all of his Toon friends abandoned,
I didn't know there was an
locked
incident
away
that
in
happened.
the facility. Last time, we theorized that our lead character, Dandy, was the one responsible for the incident. He was the first to turn into a Twisted and is now trying to make amends by reviving his friends with Icor in order to bring the show back. Only for
Oh snap. So it's like, before they're like, yeah, Dandy's actually pretty cool. But then in this video, they're like, he lied to you. That's why he sells you trash every floor. No, I mean, they didn't say that second part. But no, I do remember a lot of you guys were saying that he is a morally gray character, not 100% good or bad. But again, like I said, let me know in the comments down below.
it to go wrong and turn all of the Toons into Twisteds. But it's been a whole year since that theory, and since then, Dandy's World has been chugging along, adding more updates, more characters,
They're gonna talk about
and
the
of
music
course,
videos?
more lore. And all of these new updates have shown us a lot more about what's really going on with the Toons in the Gardenview Center. That this isn't the story of one regretful Toon's attempt to make things right, but instead carry on in the narrow-minded footsteps of his creators.
Ooh.
So hop in the elevator with me,
That would make
theorists, and
sense,
we
right?
begin extracting the mysterious dark lore of Dandy's World. One
Not
of the
the
first
Icor.
updates that was added to Dandy's World was a video that is running on a CRT in the new warehouse floor. First off, who's got time to look at TV screens when trying to escape monsters?
You always
Me.
got
That's it,
time, 'cause we got
that's where the
distractors,
story
guys.
is being told. The video is of Delilah talking to the main man himself,
Ooh, I don't think I've
Dandy.
seen this
She's
one.
asking about Dandy's breathing issues, and Dandy expresses his loneliness, to which Arthur reveals they brought to life his pet rock, Pebble, and more friends are coming soon.
Well, I don't think I've seen this one. I mean, I'm pretty sure maybe I have ran across it, but I don't think I stopped to watch it. That is so adorable.
But during that section, Arthur says Pebble is just like the show. Before this, our understanding was that the TV show began airing after the Toons were made. The earliest date we had for the show
Oh, the
was
shows were
1990,
first?
but this tape
They brought
is
the shows
recorded
to
in
life?
August of 1987. You combine that with all the
It's on the point of 87. Yeah, you gotta do it. You gotta do it, guys. You gotta say it. You gotta do it.
in August of 1987. You combine that with all the posters on the wall and the opening date for the Gardenview Center of 1984, and suddenly it becomes clear that the Gardenview Center wasn't a TV studio like we first theorized. It was just a museum for the show, using the storyboards of episodes as memorabilia to display. The other reason I thought this was a studio was because the Toons seem to remember everything that happened to them in the show as if they were real events. Those recollections obviously haven't changed, but if Dandy and Pebble were brought to life in 1987, like the show, it would appear that these characters weren't originally brought to life to be actors, but to be physical representations of those characters. They were even made to watch the shows to essentially
like, characters
become
come to
these
life,
characters and
basically.
take on their memories as their own. So that's one mystery very quickly solved, but let's be honest, we're here for the new mysteries that are coming out.
give me the
and
new
from
stuff.
this point on, update after update dropped with new Toons introduced each time. For the Easter update, a new floor was added along with some seasonal Toons like Eggs and the Egg, Flight, the Butterfly,
yeah.
Coco the the chocolate rabbit, and Bassie the Easter basket. But these characters aren't just up to their eyeballs in iCore, they are also filled with sweet, sweet lore. Just looking at how these characters interact with other toons, you get a pretty clear idea of their personalities and that there may be some discourse between fellow toons. A lot of Bassie's interactions show that she is very insecure. When talking to Bobette, the Christmas toon, she says,
So, you're the Christmas holiday main?
Last I checked, yup.
Yeah.
Last you checked? Like, we could be replaced?
Oh my gosh.
No,
What are you?
it's just a silly little comment.
That's such a leap.
You're so funny.
Oh,
Bassie
poor
feels like she
Bassie,
could be
just filled with
replaced
that
at any minute.
anxiety
A lot of her
of
interactions
being
are
replaced.
similar, unsure, timid statements.
I feel so bad for
When she
Bassie.
talks to her fellow seasonal toon, Coco. When interacting with her, Bassie is a lot more standoffish.
Coco,
Oh, Bassie, how are you, my friend?
fine.
That's great to hear. Were you needing any help?
No, not from you.
It's
Dang.
Bassie's deal. Based on the other interactions, everyone
Oh my
seems to love
gosh.
Coco, but Bassie acts totally cold towards her. Although, if you explore the Easter floor a little more, the relationship between Bassie and Coco starts to make a lot more sense. A room in the back is covered in
Dang,
iCore.
yeah.
Writing on the wall says, "Get her!" And then there's a note in a puddle of iCore. The note is from Delilah, the creator of the toons, and it says, "I don't think she should be the main class toon. She's too reliant on the fellowship of toons she's close with. She is dependent, not an independent. Reconsider." Sounds a lot like our
Man,
nervous
every
wicker
time I think
basket
about it, I
Bassie,
feel so
right?
bad
She was
for
being
Bassie,
recommended by
guys.
Delilah to not become a main. And let's be real, if Bassie is not going to be made the main Easter toon, they were going to give that title to a more likable
Coco.
toon, like
Who is
Coco.
the
And
only
when we
non-main with a plushie, is what you guys literally told me. Wow, I actually did not notice that.
look at Bassie's twisted description, you can see that is exactly what happened. One of the holiday main characters of Dandy's world, the fear of never living up to others' expectations has caused her to act out in desperation. She knew that Coco was getting the bump to main toon over her, no matter how hard she tried. So when Bassie read this letter, her emotions overwhelmed her and she became a Twisted. We already know that the Twisteds are a result of the
Dang.
toons being overwhelmed.
And we saw it on the
with
video,
iCore,
guys, the music
stuff
video.
that gave them life. But the clues we get about Bassie tell us that it's a specific moment that triggers this Twisted transformation. This idea was then followed up in the next seasonal update, the Halloween update, where we are once again introduced to a bunch of seasonal toons, with the main
Ooh, is this
toon
when you're
being
gonna get
Gordy
into the
pumpkin,
the
a younger
music
toon with a lot of energy.
videos?
But when looking through the Halloween floor, we learn Gordy has a lot of deep anguish and pain. One of the walls has a big hole broken through it, and inside is Gordy's room. On the wall are drawings covered in iCore and writing that reads, "Why can't I remember their faces?" Looking
That's
closely
sad.
at the drawings,
Oh my
there's a pumpkin
gosh.
holding the hands
Every
of
time, I'm
two
just like, that's
bigger
so
figures.
sad.
Gordy is also noted as being a younger toon, so these figures are likely his parents. Is he struggling to remember them because they were never in the show and so weren't part of his memory installation process? Or is this happening after the place has shut down? And without a show to constantly remind himself, he's forgetting crucial parts of his backstory. Either way, it leads to Gordy becoming obsessed. He tells us how he begs Astro to make him have the same dream, but Astro refuses.
I used to ask Astro for the same dream every night when we got to see each other on season, but he told me I can't ask for specific dreams anymore. He said it got concerning. Like, what? No way. I
Wow,
just the two of them.
oh my
they
gosh,
were
wait,
there.
how many times are gonna say it? But like, genuinely, that's so sad. That's so sad.
They felt so familiar.
Gordy becomes more troubled with knowing who these people are, and it all derives from his fear of being
Mama.
alone. If you enter Gordy's room as Gordy, he will say,
I shouldn't stay here much longer.
seeing all these photos and the emptiness of his room is beginning to unsettle Gordy. And this fear of loneliness is made even clearer when interacting with Twisted Gordy. Unlike most Twisteds, Twisted Gordy has dialogue as he transforms into different stages. He starts out calm, looking normal but with red eyes. But when Gordy goes full berserk, he says,
Mama, Papa, help! What's happening?
and if you leave, he shouts.
Where are you going? Stay with me, please. Wait, don't leave.
Gordy is terrified
Dang.
of being alone.
I don't think
and
I've
the
seen
fact
that
he
Mama
can't
Papa
remember
line.
His family is starting to
Maybe
get
I did,
to
I
him.
forgot
Just
about it, but
like
that's
Bassie,
sad.
we are seeing the trigger that pushes Gordy to become taken over by iCore and transform into a Twisted. And that theme keeps being brought up for every seasonal event. Dandy's World already
Yep,
had a
Bobette.
Christmas update the previous year, and it was at that point that we met Bobette, the Christmas main, as well as the other Christmas toons. We found notes around that time between the founders Arthur and Delilah, where Arthur was concerned that the Christmas tunes were just sitting in the corner of their rooms when it wasn't Christmas. But Delilah reassures Arthur that it's normal for them because having them interact outside of Christmas was just a waste of resources. Arthur seems deeply concerned for the well-being of the tunes, whereas Delilah is treating them like props that can just be stowed away when Christmas is over. But in the 2025 Christmas update, we get to dive a little deeper into our Christmas main Bobette, and we see that it's not just Delilah that's mistreating her.
It's
On the
Arthur
season before, there is
too!
a CRT playing more CCTV footage, and it's a conversation between Bobette and Arthur in 2001.
You did so well with the last meet and greet session. Really festive. It makes me think, what if we can give out twice as many gifts this year? Imagine all the children's happy faces.
Twice as many? But who's gonna make all those presents?
Well, you, of course.
You, of
Unless
course.
You don't think you can.
My
No,
gosh.
I could most definitely make all of the presents.
We then see Bobette sitting alone in a chair as hours pass, and then she gets up and gets on with her duties. This interaction sheds a brand new light onto Arthur. Until now, we've seen that Delilah is the
We thought
calculated
Delilah
one
was
who puts the
evil.
right object,
He's the
but
good
Arthur
one.
was kind of the visionary who deeply
little do we
cared about
know.
the tunes. Your joy is my joy, remember? But here, it's clear that Arthur doesn't care about Bobette at all. He decides she needs to make twice as many presents, and when she questions him, he challenges her and manipulates her. Knowing Bobette's primary function is to make presents and make kids happy, he knows she won't refuse. Arthur is mistreating Toons just as much as Delilah, and it's this mistreatment that causes Bobette to crack. In Bobette's room on the seasonal floor, we begin to see an all too familiar theme. Ichor is everywhere, and there is a note on the floor, this time written by Bobette, letting out her frustrations.
Every time Christmas returns, it feels as if there is less time to spend it with my friends. I hate to be any trouble. After all, I'm perfect for my role. I've been perfect at it for years. Despite that all, despite it being my season, I have this feeling that I'm not appreciated enough, and I don't like it. Can Delilah fix it? Is it part of me? Can someone fix it? Please, please, please.
This is what pushes Bobette to literally
man.
break, becoming a twisted and covering her workshop in Ichor because once again, Delilah and Arthur have pushed them to their limits. But something in Bobette's note caught my attention. When Bobette is struggling to find joy in making presents, which is literally her purpose as a toon, she asks if Delilah could fix it. As in, could Delilah remove this feeling she's having? What's interesting about this is it's this very emotion, an emotion
How
that
do you
is
fix
out
that?
of character for her, that pushes her to become a
Do they
twisted.
just like
It
have
shows us that
surgery
these
or something,
toons
pick
have
the
more
brain,
emotions than
alter
just what their
personalities?
characters are
How do you fix that
supposed
stuff?
to have. TV cartoons are written to be certain archetypes, a simple personality that is easy for children to grab onto and understand. They don't need to be complex characters with depth and strong motivations because that nuance is tough for kids to grasp in a short 10-minute episode. When Delilah creates the toons, she and Arthur want them to be just like the show, one-dimensional characters sticking to their
No
defined
problems
traits.
whatsoever.
But clearly, they didn't account for the fact that making toons real would mean their emotions become more complex. They would have different emotions, much like real people. But by pigeonholing them, trying to force them to fit these molds of their cartoon counterparts, it's causing the toons to snap. Bassie is supposed to be a kind and helpful toon, but when she becomes jealous of Coco, she turns. Gordy is meant to be a young, happy toon, but when he starts to feel loneliness, he is overcome. Bobette is meant to be a joy-giving, present-making toon, but when she wants more than that, to spend time with her friends, she too breaks. Another toon, Shelly, is usually happy-go-lucky, but her handler reveals to us that she's insecure.
I assure you, the other toons do care about you. Please keep cheering everyone on for me until I get back.
And even TV head V is worried about being upgraded by Delilah, worrying that she won't be her anymore, that she's more than just her programming. Very philosophical for a talking TV, but it's all to emphasize that these toons
All
are
the
more than
mains
just their cartoon versions. They are
have-
breaking away from their
I mean, I guess you could say not just all the mains, because I was gonna say all the mains seem to have their issues, but I think low-key all the toons as well, since they do turn twisted as well. I wonder if one day we'll also get more stories about like the rest of the toons, because like I know that these are the main characters, right? Right? Who cares about the rest of but like I kind of want to know more about the others turning turning point, you know what I mean?
traits, becoming more human. However, when Delilah and Arthur try to push them back down into their box, they can't take the pressure and explode. But there is one more new toon that exemplifies this more than anyone.
Who's that?
Back in August, Dandy's World introduced to us a new toon named Dyle, a walking, talking pocket watch with a very important purpose.
Not gonna lie, I don't know much about Dyle, so like, are we about to get some lore on Dyle?
In the Gardenview Center. Dyle operates the trains coming in and out of Gardenview and can be found at the shop front opposite Dandy, pulling levers, controlling the trains, and selling you skins of other toons. The fact that he has a permanent shop front means, much like Dandy, he must be important. And if you gossip to Dandy about Dyle, he will tell you.
It's great having Dyle around. He helps me out with certain things. He's sort of like a little assistant, a helper of sorts.
Is that what Dyle
works
is?
directly with Dandy, who is
He does
running
seem
the
like
shops
the
and,
assistant
as we
type.
know, the I-Core
Like he has
operation.
his stuff
Looking
together,
at Dyle's
you know?
rainbow clothing, it also shows his significance in the game. The only other rainbow-wearing people are Arthur, Delilah, and Dandy himself. But
You
there's
know,
a
I
lot
never
more
noticed
to
that.
Dyle than just what he wears. Other than his role of running the trains, he treats his fellow toons very differently to everyone else.
Honestly, I don't know if I'd consider anyone here even a friend.
Dang.
I consider everyone more
Saying that
of
with a smirk on
coworker,
his face.
associate. I don't
professional.
have the luxury of friends.
Oh, that's
Anytime you
sad.
hear the toons interact with one another, they call each other friends. But Dyle is much more calculated, analytical. He sees them all as co-workers, different from the rest of the toons, and when exploring his floor, we find out why. First of all, unlike all the other toon-specific rooms,
I like the way
Dyle's
he holds
floor
the
is
chain.
pretty bare. Usually, toon rooms have things that show off their personality. Shelly has dinosaur stuff. V has game show sets. Sprout has a kitchen. But Dyle's
like it.
room looks like an empty warehouse. There's nothing personal
The storage
in there.
room.
The only thing is the posters, and they're all covered in I-Core. And when you enter Dyle's secret room, the pieces start to fall together. On the board is a radio transcript between Dyle, Delilah,
I didn't get
and
time to read
Arthur.
anything.
I hate to interrupt this radio channel for childish questions, but I must ask something.
Go ahead, I've got time in between meetings.
When will I take part in the show? Join the others? Hello? Have I lost connection? Have I...
You join the others? No, go back to your little room. No, that's crazy, actually. They actually low-key ghost him for a second.
Hello? Have I lost connection? Have I...
There's no plans of that actually
Dang,
happening, Dyle.
that's so
Why
crazy.
don't you, me, and Delilah sit down tonight, chat on it some.
Now, notice the code next
Why?
to Dyle's name on his room. OA001.
Is he the first
We've
one?
seen code like this elsewhere in Gardenview. Pictures found on some floors show the toons together and the code L001 and M002 next to
what?
them. These codes are based on their roles in the TV show. L001 is Dandy. He is the lead, and M means main. We also see rooms that say SC002, 3, 4,
that's so
and
clever.
on. These are side characters like
That's what
Shrimpo,
everyone else
Poppy, and
is.
Boxster. These
Oh.
aside names represent their role in Dandy's world, but Dyle has a very different one. OA. Given he's the train operator and assists Dandy, this could mean operating assistant, which explains a lot about his character. The reason Dyle's floor has nothing matching his TV personality is because he doesn't
have a
Dyle
TV
wasn't created
personality.
based on a toon from the show. Dyle was created with the sole purpose of operating the train system and assisting Delilah and Arthur. That's why he calls the toons co-workers rather than friends, and why there are no posters or cardboard cutouts of him around the
I
center.
never thought
he was
about
always
that.
designed to work the trains and nothing more. But now, Gardenview has shut down. Dyle could be more than what he was made for, and yet he's not. So far, we've seen the toons become twisted as they start to exhibit more emotions than the ones their TV show characters do. It's clearly what led to the malfunction incident that caused the Gardenview Center to shut down. We believe that Dandy has since been trying to make things right. It was all his fault that they were hidden from the outside world. But thanks to the introduction of Dyle, we know that this might not strictly be true. See, when talking to Dyle about the other toons, Dyle mentions how he uses the trains to access the outside world to gain supplies.
There is a train that leads outside of Gardenview itself. I ensure supplies end up here. Of course, no other toon is allowed on this specific train.
That means there
So
is
it's only
a
him?
way to the outside world, but Dyle
doesn't allow
is
no
the
one else to
only one
leave?
allowed on that train. Dyle could simply let all the toons go and be free, but he doesn't do that. Dyle is a stickler for the rules. He's been created to follow orders, so if he's told no one is allowed on the train, that is final. This rule would need to come from someone he follows, and right now the only person who fits that description is Dandy. You can actually see this relationship when Dyle talks about Dandy.
I hope you're aware, any earnings I receive from purchases go right back to Dandicus. I work alongside him. We're associates in a way. way. No, I'm not allowed to take tips.
There he goes again, saying he's not allowed to do something. Dyle isn't allowed to accept any money. It all needs to go to Dandy. As we know, the currency in the game is Ichor, and Dandy needs that for his Ichor operation. Clearly, he is the one that gave orders to Dyle to not accept money. So it's likely that Dandy is also the one who told Dyle none of the toons are allowed on the train. Dandy is the one forcing Dyle to continue to work the train, making him treat the toons like co-workers rather than friends. Dandy is literally continuing in the footsteps of Arthur and Delilah. He's not trying to make amends and help his friends. He is trying to keep them trapped inside as if everything is—
This makes sense when you think about how mad and willing he is to kill everyone if we don't buy from his shop.
It always has been before it all went wrong. This is why Dyle truly breaks in the end. If you look at Dyle's twisted description, it says he's seen the outside. This fact is significant to Dyle's breaking point. That's why it's here. Dandy wants to keep everyone in, pretend like things were like they used to be. But Dyle is breaking away from what he is meant to do: help Dandy. Dyle wants to set the toons free, take them to the outside world that he's witnessed. Freedom is within reach. And I know that because if you look around Dyle's floor and the Ichor covered posters, a significant word is left untouched. Friend. He was told by Arthur, Delilah, and Dandy that these were just his co-workers. But he wants to have friends. He saw the relationship the other toons had, and he wanted to be a part of that. And a friend would help to end their suffering by helping them to escape to the wonderful outside world that he'd had the privilege of seeing. But when he gets shut down by Arthur, Delilah, or Dandy, like everyone else, he succumbs to the Ichor and becomes yet another threat that roams these cursed floors. But hey, that's—
I wonder if he also is able to do what Dandy does, where Dandy can kind of turn into the twisted version and then he could go right back to normal. So I wonder if he can also do that, or if that was his plan to help everybody, but he cracked under pressure and now he's a twisted. But that's just a theory, a game theory. Thanks for watching. But no, seriously, thank you for watching. Definitely let me know what you guys think about this theory. Again, leave your comments down below if you agree or disagree with anything here. Again, I love reading you guys' comments and learning more about the lore from you guys. So definitely let me know. But as for now, that's gonna be it for me. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video. Nina out.